My name is Benjamin Janova. I'm studying a Bachelor of Arts at the University of Melbourne, majoring in Politics and International Studies and a Law and Justice minor. I don't think I would have a very religious upbringing, but I went to a Jewish day school and I studied, Torah, which is the holy Jewish book, and Jewish history, and I went to synagogue. My Jewish upbringing was quite holistic, so I did lots of different cultural things, and I listened to Jewish music, Israeli music. Food is obviously a large part of being Jewish. So I eat a lot of Jewish foods on the high holidays. For Eastern European Jews like myself, a lot of the Jewish foods are gefilte fish, for example, which is kind of a poached fish. Another Jewish food would have to be matzah, which is kind of the unleavened bread, which we eat on Passover. Other Jewish foods are probably lots of fish dishes, meats, things like that. My grandparents on my father's side, their background is Polish, and on my mother's side, my grandmother came from the UK, and my grandfather, he's from Czechoslovakia. So on my father's side, they came in the 1920s because in Poland at the time it was just not really such a great place for Jews. Work was difficult. Jobs were scarce, a lot of anti-Semitism, and they just thought as many people in those days, they just decided to make a better life in Australia. On my mother's side, they came post-war, so my grandfather is a Holocaust survivor, so he came after the war, and he was brought out by a Jewish agency, and he came and he worked as a dental technician. And my grandmother came from the UK because after the war, the UK was in ruins. It was just not worthwhile to grow up there, so they also moved to Australia.
We gratefully thank you, for it is you who are Hashem, our God, and the God of our forefathers for all eternity. Rock of our lives, shield of salvation, are you from generation to generation. We shall thank you and relate your praise for our lives which are committed to your power, and for your souls that are entrusted to you, for your miracles that are with us every day, and for your wonders and for your favors in every season, evening, morning, and afternoon. The beneficent one, for your compassions were never exhausted, and the compassionate one, for your kindness never ended. Always have we put our hope in you.
Playing inter-school sports, is, in my year there was a few incidents of people, drawing swastikas on their hands, or throwing money and stuff. But personally, I haven't been discriminated against for my religious views or for my religious tradition. I don't consider myself a practicing Jew. I go to synagogue on the high holidays, and I do the Sabbath meal on Friday nights with my family, but I don't practice really any of the Jewish laws. Personally, I don't keep kosher. Jewish law isn't really, central to my life. Jews go to synagogue usually every Friday night and Saturday, because that's the Sabbath. Jews are supposed to pray 3 times every day. So there's a prayer in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. But to rock up to synagogue, usually I rock up late. But you take your seats, you kind of find your page, and you just follow along in the service. The rabbi often usually gives a sermon or a speech. On Saturday afternoon, there's a reading from the Torah, so there's a portion of the holy book that we read each week. And then usually afterwards, sometimes there's like refreshments, there's a kiddush, as we call it, and there's drinks and food and stuff like that. And that's usually how it goes for a generic shul or synagogue service. How do I look?
Great.
Great. When you read from the sacred book from the Torah, you have to put on the prayer shawl, and before you read, you kind of wrap this around your finger and you touch the letter with the thing and then you kiss it. And I think the threads are supposed to represent the 613 commandments in the Torah, and each knot has like a different spiritual significance. Kind of use Judaism as a compass, kind of, in a way. It's a great source of values and morals, and it kind of is a roadmap of how you want to live your life.